So, regarding the laws of Shemita, we will see now the third chapter regarding the potted plant. And you put things in pot. Donc, on va voir maintenant le troisième chapitre qui est en rapport avec les plantes en pot. So it's like this. Nos sages dans le Talmud, Yerushalmi, Orla, Halacha 2, se demandent si les lois de la Shemitah sont en vigueur sur les plantations ne poussant pas à ciel ouvert ou sous une toiture telle que le toit d'une maison ou dans une serre. So, what is the origin of the question? C'est quoi l'origine de la question? It's in Yerushalmi, Orla, Halacha Bet. The sages are asking, do the laws of Shemitah only for plants, fruits, which grows up facing the sky, seeing the sky, or is it also working for plants which are in the room and they have no vision, no access to the sky? This is the question, where the Shemitah is standing. Donc, la question, c'est de savoir ça. Le problème n'y est pas tranché, mais un grand nombre de décisionnaires pensent que, dans le doute, nous devons considérer les serres et les plantations d'intérieur au même titre que le champ à ciel ouvert. Et c'est, in the Yerushalmi, there is no halacha, there is no psak. The question stay open. And he said, but because of the safek, we decided also to consider the potted plant like also being obliged to be under the laws of Shemita. Il dit, ceci aura donc une influence sur le statut d'un grand nombre de produits agricoles ainsi que sur les plantes décoratives se trouvant généralement bien dans les maisons. So that position opens wide all the situation where now the laws of Shemita will be applied. Il existe deux catégories de peau dans la halacha. Ceux ayant un orifice dans le fond ou sur la paroi, au niveau de la terre ou se trouvant dans le pot, et ceux n'ayant pas. So he said, according to the Talmud, we have two kinds of pots. This one, which have a hole at the bottom or on the side when they are put inside of the land, and this one was totally closed. This is two different kinds of pots. So we will have two different series of laws. Les pots n'ayant pas d'orifice. Let's start with the pot missing any kind of hole. They are just closed and support. On dit, ces pots, on est dans les autres photos, il dit, moi, ces pots sont considérés comme n'ayant aucun rapport avec le sol, c'est-à-dire que leurs racines ne trouvent pas de vitalité nécessaire à la plante qu'à travers la terre s'y trouvant. So what's the definition of that kind of pot? Is that the roots are not connected to the earth because they are inside of the pot. They don't need anything from the earth itself to start to grow. Donc, il dit, si ces pots sont posés à l'intérieur de la maison, la majorité des décisionnaires pensent qu'il sera alors possible de les traiter comme d'habitude sans aucune restriction. Il says, so, if you have pot without holes in your house, you don't have to, most of the poskim say there's no problem with the Shemita. Because everything is inside, there's no connection with the land itself. Il dit, par contre, s'ils sont placés à l'extérieur, en bordure de fenêtres, sur les balcons, sur les terrasses, on pourra y réaliser uniquement les travaux cités dans le chapitre précédent, en respectant les différentes restrictions. En effet, comme nous l'avons soulevé, c'est le fait que ce soit à l'extérieur qui nécessite une conduite plus rigoureuse. Et c'est but, if the same pot without hole is now standing not inside of a room, outside on the balcony or on the seeing the sky, c'est here you have to apply the same rules that we saw before, just to maintain the plant, not to grow it, just not to bring it to be damaged. So the problem is when it's outside, not inside. So pot without hole at home, inside of a room, no problem. But you start to put it outside, problem starts. You have to apply the laws regarding the way to grow, not to grow it. Pour considérer que la plante pousse dans un pot n'ayant pas d'orifice, il faut que la séparation avec le sol soit totale. C'est to consider that a pot is without all. It said we have to be sure that every surface of the pot is covering all the earth inside, and there's no contact between that earth and the floor and the land, the earth you have outside. So the pot have to be really in good form, not with holes and
we don't care who lives on the 10th floor.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yes. C'est la raison pour laquelle il ne suffira pas de les séparer seulement entre les racines et le sol. Il y aura également une séparation entre les feuillages et le sol. En effet, les Chachamim nous dévoilent que les plantations ne tirent pas seulement leur vitalité par les biais des racines, mais également par les biais des feuilles. So what's the problem? So let's say you have the pot like this, it's closed. You put it outside. You say, oh no, it's kosher because I have no hole. So be careful. The Gemara said that there's two ways for a plant to be fed, or by the land being inside, under the pot, or by the contact with the leaves and the earth. So if the leaves touch the earth, it's asur. Be careful that that plant that you have outside is not touching the earth. Donc il dit, en conséquence, si le pot n'a pas d'orifice, mais que les feuillages de la plante s'étendent à l'extérieur du pot, au-dessus du sol, il ne sera pas partie de cette catégorie. Il faudra consulter son rab. So if you have that case, you have a plant with the leaves touching the floor, you have to call a rabbi to ask for what's happened here. It's not so simple. Now, the second category. Deuxième catégorie, les pots ayant un orifice, the pot with hole. Étant donné le fait que ces pots ont un orifice, on les considère comme étant liés au sol et donc faisant partie du sol. So c'est because of that hole, we consider that they are connected to the earth. So they are a full part of the earth. Even if you have the major party of that earth being surrounded by the pots, but because of that hole, they are a full part of the land, of the earth. En effet, les racines tirent la vitalité nécessaire à travers cet orifice, à condition bien entendu que rien ne soit placé entre le pot et le sol. So it's obvious. The roots inside getting all their strength from that hole and from the power of the land. So he said, for sure, you have to have nothing standing between the earth and the pot himself. But the situation is like that. Le fait que le pot soit fissuré n'influe en rien sur son statut. Cependant, si le trou dépasse 1 millimètre, il faut déjà le considérer comme faisant partie de cette catégorie. He said, if you have your pot like this, il dit, si tu as ton pot il est comme ça, let's say, c'est OK. C'est if you have, comment tu dis des fissures? When sometimes this will broken from the shalom, you have cracks. It said if you have cracks on your pot, it's not a problem. The problem is if you have hole even of 1 millimeter. We saw it on Ben Ish Chai, remember? There's a big difference between cracks and hole. And that hole can bring impurity. But cracks, water always goes outside. And the deepened hole, we saw it in the Ben Ish Chai. He said, this is a problem. This is not a problem.
So why? Because in a crack, what's in the cup can go out, but nothing can go
exactly.
The hole.
Exactly.
Even if the hole is on the side, it's a problem?
Yes. On the side, because you have two kind of hole regarding pots. Or you have a hole here, or some pots they have hole on the side, and they were put inside of the land. Yeah.
If you have a pot without
Like we just hold on the side and we put it on top of.
We have leaves going outside.
No, I mean, I don't have this situation, but it looks like it's strange. Like you said, that if there is.
They said if there is hole on the side, it's considered like pot with holes.
Or not to touch, just the air. And you can do it.
Because even in the, I know in the Bible, if you have a hanging plant and it has holes in it, but it's over the dirt, even if it's 5 feet above the dirt, it's like it's all said it's in the dirt.
No holes, pas de trou. Si ces pots sont posés à l'extérieur, sur le sol, en bordure de fenêtre, sur un balcon, sur une terrasse, on pourra y réaliser uniquement les travaux cités dans le second chapitre en respectant les différentes restrictions. C'est if that kind of pot, meaning pot with holes, are standing on balcony, outside, say it's like we saw, you have to be careful on what kind of melachot you will do and how you have to do that. Everything we saw before will be applied now. En effet, comme nous l'avons soulevé, c'est le fait que ce soit à l'extérieur qui nécessite une conduite plus rigoureuse. D'autant plus qu'il y a dans ce cas un lien plus direct avec le sol. Et c'est like we said, it's because the pot will be outside that we have to be more rigorous. Par contre, s'ils sont placés à l'intérieur de la maison, a priori, la halakha ne devrait pas être différente des pots n'ayant pas d'orifice. En fait, il faut différencier deux cas de figure. So now let's take the case, a pot with holes, but inside of a room. So it seems to be that there's no difference between the pot without holes and with holes in that case. Say yes, but no. We have two cases. Il y a deux situations. Si la maison se trouve en étage, certains décisionnaires pensent que l'orifice n'influe en rien. Et il sera permis de traiter les plantes sans restriction. Selon d'autres, il ne sera pas permis de traiter les plantes et ne sera permis de traiter les plantes que dans les limites de ce qui a été développé dans le chapitre précédent. This is what he said, Rabbi Yeshayahu. He said, first situation, if the house is not, it's on the floors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the floors. You have some poskim, they say, okay, we are not connected to the land, so there's no problem with pot with holes. And you have other ones, you see what you quote, even if you live at the stage 100, if you have pot with holes, you have to be careful about the melachot regarding that plant. Two options. Said, second case, deuxième situation, si la maison se trouve au rez-de-chaussée, un grand nombre de décisionnaires pensent qu'ils sont considérés comme étant posés à même le sol. Said, but if the house is not on stage, it's like we consider that even if it's inside, many poskim consider that it's connected directly to the land, to the floor, to the earth. Even if I'm inside of my room, just because I have a hole. See?
I would suggest that the reason in the Yerushalmi that they made the distinction between whether it sees the sky or not is because the floors in houses used to be dirt.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be a distinction.
Yes, yeah, of
but
course.
today they're not dirt.
Yes,
So
yeah.
I can see that.
We have the two options. Il dit, selon certains, cela dépendra de la nature de la plante, arbuste ou fleur. Il faudra donc contacter son rat dans ce cas. He said, some poskim say, no, it depends on the plant, on the nature of the plant. If it's a small tree or if it's a flower. So that's why you have also to see with your rabbi, to know exactly what the situation is. Il est important de noter que la halakha peut varier en fonction de la qualité du pot, bois, argile ou PVC. Il faudrait également faire un pas à son rab pour avoir une réponse précise. Say also, in some cases, the halakha can be changing according to the quality of the pot. It can be clay, it can be in plastic, it can be in wood. He said also you have to talk to your rabbi to know exactly what is the situation. So what is the main position we have the pot? Holes or not, inside or outside? Let's see now start the fourth sector. Oui, c'est quoi la question?
C'est un pour sûr. Déjà outside it's considered different. It's already a problem because
You put it without all or with all?
without.
Okay.
C'est pas vraiment des poux, c'est comme une espèce de un espèce de grand pot comme ça, mais c'est comme à la maison.
C'est gonflé comme un pot.
Ouais, c'est un grand pot. Et ça touche le sol. C'est pas les plantes, c'est un arbre.
Au moment où ça va sur le truc là. Chapter 4, chapitre 4. La notion de Efker durant la Shemita. So what is the Efker during the Shemita?
Rafinkas, I just wanted to ask one quick question.
Yeah.
So, for example, if we have loads of plants and trees or whatever in pots, could we put them, for example, in a bucket which doesn't have holes, and then it's in a pot which doesn't have holes, or does it not work like that?
It's a good idea. Although the strategy you can do to have a year without headache, you can do it. Yes, like this, you know, for skin once it's not in a pot without holes inside of your room, the laws are not the same. So yes, you can.
No, I mean on the balcony. Like, well, we're on the 4th floor, so we're so disconnected from the ground.
We say that if it's outside, the problem starts.
Yeah.
But somehow, when the pot are closed, it's good. So I think it's some post-scheme. I think
some people still say it's that sort.
It can be okay. Because, yeah.
The general question is, there's one.
Yes.
Are all the other non-food plants derivana? And if so, then we've already opened the door to so then we add another.
Yes. It's different. Maybe I have to check. I didn't say the suya about the smell. If the smell can be considered like a fruit, yes. Yeah. So if you do that, you have pot skin covering you, so you have no problem. Telling you that if the pot is closed and you put it on the balcony, and especially if you are on the high levels of stage, you have pot skin food saying for you is no problem. If you need more details according to the nature of the plant and the tree, maybe I'll know one rabbi is expert in that. I will let you have his number. Efker. Shalom Okuma. Il y a dans les mitzvahs du quotidien, une mission à la Shemita, de rendre Efker tous les projets que nous trouvons dans notre champ. C'est-à-dire que chacun a l'obligation de se défaire de sa propriété sur ses projets agricoles et mettre ainsi et permettre aux revenus d'en tirer profit. So what is Efker? Efker is everything which is mine on the agricultural product on my land are not mine. The guy who can take its fees. Basically, you nullify your dimension of landlord and being the man who possess that productions. This is called Efker. Meaning, Shmita, if you work, you work in the area of Lord and so on, you see a field of grapes, you are hungry, you eat.
And we don't care if the guy is in Russia and he didn't master it. Hashem did.
There's a story like this in the Gemara. A rabbi, Tanakh, did it, and the landlord was Amaretz, don't knew about the halacha. And he started to scream on him. He said, "No, I'm not." So after the Gemara asking, "Do we have something to do with the landlord or ignore?" So no, because the situation is the man who makes the action. Is he sinning or not? If he's not sinning, not the problem. After you have to explain, of course. But if you are hungry, and the rabbi was hungry, say, I need to eat. He said, Shmita, okay, I have to eat.
So the Jordan, it's very saying a lot of alcohol right now with the Jordan. It's bring fruit from the Jordan.
It depends where. It depends where.
Yeah, when I was asking it, my question was that where do the law of Shmita stop?
You know that the Yerushalmi said that in Syria we have to apply it because it's connected to the borders.
It should be a homer to the areas that the tribes lived in.
Of course.
Even if it's across the border. Wow.
So it's not too.
The best you have to see Morocco, Spain, Brazil, all the land, yeah, Italian.
Meat and wine all year.
I mean,
It's okay, so because most of the time the best one is old.
yes.
And,
But, you know, sometimes when you're in something forbidden, the wine can be amazing that year. All the wine of Shemita, check them. The last Shemita, it was in 2014. Check, test it. You will see there's something.
you can do a little bit of fun for you. So something like this in the channel.
You can do, but the purpose is how do you do?
The thing is, you're not allowed to harvest grape, but if you have, like for you and your family,
Yeah, we saw it. It's enough.
so you
Yeah,
can do a
you have
little
to, it's a small quantity. It's not a problem. It's when you start to have big quantity. You know what you're doing. Small quantity, yes.
bit, you can do a special like 1-2 bottle.
It said your personal quantity or quantity of your family. So if yourself you do 1 bottle for yourself, so you can do 4 bottles. But yes, small quantity. Myself, I will even not take the risk. I will.
No vegetable.
No risk.
Si ça vient
The
d'ailleurs,
price is too heavy.
si ça vient d'ailleurs, c'est bon. Si tu vois ça.
I have to be sure that the landlord is not Jewish behind. If I don't know, I don't think. When it's right, you don't know, you don't do.
Isn't it usher for a Jew to sell land to a non-Jew in Eretz Israel?
Of
So
course.
then ownership doesn't matter anyway.
Of
So
course.
like with the rabbi who, is it a sin or is it not a sin? All the land belongs to Hashem. He gave it to the Jewish people. And Shemitah, no one has ownership. So how does that even work?
But what you said is all the problem is the very strange Suyan Gemara regarding to lose profit. Many rabbis, they go straight that losing profit, it's about mammon. In my very small and tiny corner, I don't think that profit is a materiality. Because you see many halachot coming, because the guy will have a big loss of money. Okay, in my Torah, in my very small level, I say maybe Hashem wants me to die, and that money being loose, it's like me dying, and I will be safe. So why do I have to fight to prevent big loss? So this is on that mindset that they build all the laws that yes, you can sell the land like this, you know, big loss. But it's only when you're trapped in that world. Hey. Ça. Donc il dit, ceci a pour objectif de développer entre nous un sentiment que la terre ne nous appartient pas. He said, what the objective with the Efker is to develop inside of our hearts the feeling that the land is not ours. So, it's not ours. C'est pas à nous. Car la terre est à moi et vous n'êtes que les étrangers domiciliés chez moi. Nous rappelle Hachem, c'est lui le propriétaire. C'est what is written in Vaikra. C'est the land is mine, and you are only foreigner who are guests. Wow. Et fait de même, cette mitzvah est censée nous animer de la conscience que c'est Hachem qui chaque année donne la force et la vigueur à la terre pour produire ses fruits. C'est our purpose from that mitzvah is to remind us that it's Hashem himself who gives to the land the power to bring up fruits and vegetables every years after years. Tout celui qui ferme son champ et en empêche l'accès à tout un chacun transgresse cette mitzvah et perd le mérite d'accomplir une action grandement méritoire. C'est every single man who closes his field and don't give access to people to that field during the Shmita, he said, is basically you are not doing one of the biggest mitzvah, positive mitzvah. C'est à titre indicatif et intéressant de rapporter à ce sujet la grande discussion qui opposa deux grands décisionnaires. So said, let's see one marloquette between two big poskim. According to Rabbi Yosef Karo, so Rabbi Yosef Karo, l'auteur du Shulchan Aruch, Le statut d'Efker des fruits n'est obtenu que si le propriétaire prononce une formule attestant le fait qu'il se détache de ses biens. Sans cela, ils ne sont pas Efker et personne ne peut en disposer. Rabbi Yosef Karo, Maran Shulchan Aruch, said, the Efker status can only be put on the product when the landlord is saying a formula. That formula remove his powership on that product. La mitzvah se réalise donc en formulant devant trois personnes son désir d'accomplir la volonté d'Hachem et d'abandonner tous ses biens. So he said, to do that, you need a bedin, three people sitting in front of you, and you doing all the formula with the text about you be having the desire to make your products FK. Selon Rabbi Yosef de Trani, de Mabit, connaissant Rabbi Yosef de Trani, le statut de Efker est obtenu automatiquement dès la venue de l'année de la Shemita, car Hachem en a décidé ainsi. Ceci ne dépend pas du consentement et de la détermination du propriétaire. Rabbi Yosef of Trani said, no, the Efker status is automatic because Hashem decided like this. When the Shemita starts, everything is Efker. La mitzvah se réalise d'après cet avis en modifiant son comportement et son attitude vis-à-vis des fruits. So he said, in that case, how do you show the difference? By having a different behavior toward to your products. It's enough. C'est-à-dire, utiliser les fruits de son ancien champ uniquement dans les limites de la halakha et de ne pas empêcher à qui que ce soit l'accès aux fruits. So, for example, you can use the fruit from your previous year and just open your field. People will see it's open. No lock is there. Certains décisionnaires contemporains tranchent, comme l'avis de Yosef Karo, et pensent que le propriétaire des fruits n'a pas formulé son souhait autant que le propriétaire des fruits n'a pas formulé son souhait de se défaire de sa propriété devant trois personnes, il sera interdit de pénétrer dans son domaine et de toucher ses fruits. So many post-criminal generations are holding the halakha according to Rabbi Yosef Karo. They say it seems to be that the landlord have to say that formula, because if not, it seems to be that there is a kind of issue to put your hand on that product. D'autres sont plus d'accord pour affirmer la formulation n'est pas nécessaire et suivre l'avis du Mabit. And other think like the Mabit. So what we do? D'après la Torah, according to the Torah, il aura été nécessaire de briser la clôture autour des champs afin de bien prouver à tous les passants qu'ils sont les bienvenus et qu'ils peuvent disposer de ces fruits. According to the Torah, you have to break all the fence around your field. Like the people know, it's open. Cependant, nos sages ont libéré de cette obligation afin de préserver les champs et de ne pas les voir se dégrader et se détériorer en laissant pénétrer des personnes peu habiles, des animaux et des bêtes sauvages. Je sais, but this situation, the Chachamim say no, we will not operate like that, because if you remove all your fences, some people don't know how to the behavior to have in the field. Some animals can come, so it will be problematic. He said, dans le même ordre d'idée, celui qui possède un jardin avec des arbres fruitiers et qu'il est nécessaire de traverser la maison afin d'y parvenir, ne sont pas obligés de laisser l'entrée libre à tout moment. Some people who have the fruit tree inside of their house, in your garden, you will not be obliged to let your door open. It's obvious.
If the fruit tree is in the front of the house,
you have a door, entrance door, so people can pass and just take.
and then you can say nothing.
Il suffira d'annoncer par le biais d'une affiche que l'on peut obtenir ces fruits en s'adressant au propriétaire. So in that case, if the fruit tree is inside of your courtyard, let's say, you just have to put a note saying that fruit can be used. Just ask to the landlord to open the door for you.
You have to.
Yes.
It's an obligation. It's an obligation.
If it's inside of your courtyard, c'est à l'intérieur de ta cour personnelle. Les gens, ils peuvent voir là, mais ils ne savent pas si t'es tati, quand tati. Il faut l'indiquer si tu sais que Normalement, il faudrait qu'ils rentrent chez toi pour prendre ces fruits-là. Donc, tu indiques pour qu'ils puissent te demander s'ils peuvent rentrer.
C'est une obligation.
Ah oui, sinon comment ils savent?
How is it really Efker if he doesn't put a note?
Yes,
And it's just something like it's
yes.
not real.
If you have no notes, you can ask, say, you know, in Shemita, I like you orange. I want to test someone.
Yeah.
Il dit, certains ne disent pas s'il est bon de demander la permission au propriétaire avant de pénétrer dans son champ, même s'il est Efker, afin de ne pas prendre mes habitudes pour les années à venir. Some postscript say, even if it's Efker, even if it's Shemita, it's always good to ask to the landlord permission. Like this, do not take bad habits for the next years. Est-il permis d'être reconnaissant envers le propriétaire et de le remercier après avoir ramassé les fruits de son champ? So is it permit to be thankful to the landlord and to say, thank you, and take something? Is it permit or not? Est-ce qu'il est permis d'être ça? According to Bet Shammai, selon Bet Shammai, ceci est interdit. C'est assourd. En effet, cela pourrait laisser penser que les fruits ne sont pas Efker. We may thought that the fruit are not Efker if you are thankful to that.
But it's all his labor in the previous 6 years that made it possible to be there.
Yeah, his labor. Bet Hillel, cela est permis. Mais là, il dit, it's permit. Yes, you can be thankful. The Rambam, proche. The Rambam, he said, we are like Bet Hillel. And we finish for today. Tomorrow we continue with the Shamu. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen. Ve Amen.
Shammai is really good. We know the truth.